Right after graduating, I worked in finance for several years, first as an investment banker and then as an equity analyst at a hedge fund for several years. So got to really experience the private sector, got to work long hours once again. But got to see a little bit of what the real world is like, how our global financial system works, and what is the plumbing of the global economy. So I think it provided a really strong foundation, not only for what I'm doing now, but for a general understanding of how this world really works.
The most formative experience in my own life was serving as the caregiver to the person who would become my husband, Andy, during his battle with cancer. And for anyone who's been diagnosed with cancer, particularly if you've been diagnosed in your 20s, as Andy was, you know it is like a punch in the gut unlike anything you've ever experienced. You never expect to hear that word at such a young age. But from those first moments after his diagnosis, Andy and I knew how lucky we were. We knew how lucky Andy was to have health insurance that would allow him to get care that would hopefully save his life. And we both knew how lucky we were to have flexibility with our jobs that allowed him to focus on the full-time job of trying to get better, and me to focus on the full-time job of caring for him, of loving him, of marrying him, and eventually when he found out that his cancer was terminal, to walk him to his passing. And I decided to run for office because I do not believe that in Delaware, our state of neighbors, or here in the United States, in the wealthiest, most developed nation on earth, that time and that ability to get care should be a matter of luck. I believe it should be the law of the land.
So in 2016, we lost my little brother Luke to a fentanyl overdose, fentanyl that here and shouldn't have been. And so we lost my little brother. He was 20 years old, and it was tragic. And I tell people it's like losing an arm and having to go through life without something that should be there that's not. So it drove me to do this and to run for Congress. That's why I'm here.
Tell us more about how you felt when that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was the hardest part was the shock. The shock of like, this was very unexpected, and it hurt that way. But having to see my mom and my dad and what that did to them, losing a son or daughter is very different than losing a sibling. And as a father now, I understand that. But it was shocking, and then you've got to figure out how to move forward, and you can either stop and just feel bad for yourself, or you can do something about it. And I wanted to do something about it.